beautiful Friday morning, and of course, you know what time it is. It's Perspective on Osrc TV. I am Isosa Monilari, and of course, you know I don't do this alone. I have my beautiful, delectable, my co-presenter with me in the person of Sharon. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. You look amazing.
Thank you. You also do look amazing.
Thank you.
It's not too late to say happy Independence Day.
Oh yes,
and
it's never too late to say that.
New month to you all, our amazing viewer. One thing I love about the Independence Day is because it reminds us that we are Nigerians, and it also reminds us of how far we've gone all throughout this. Yes, it's our 65th year anniversary, and I would say as Nigerians, we've actually done a
far better.
And I would also indulge us all to be a patriotic citizen to the country. It's one thing for us to hold the government accountable, but we should also be able to hold ourselves accountable.
Yes.
We can say, we are not, just like I said, we are not where we want to be yet, but we are getting there. So with those little things that we feel as a country we are achieving, what are we doing as the citizens to sustain and maintain those things? And I indulge us all. Let's be a patriotic citizen to our own country, Nigeria.
I think to start with holding one accountable, those refuse dump you throw into your drainage system should not be so. I think we've grown past that level by now. So you're not supposed to, by any means or by any chance, dump refuse in the drainage system or the gutters you have. You're not supposed to. Maybe we should start from there, clearing the bushes around your environment.
But sorry, a quick one. Normally it's, we are more than this. We have our beautiful Remy Allen. But unfortunately, due to unavoidable circumstances, she won't be joining us today. So I and Sharon will be taking you on this lovely ride on Perspective today. So Sharon, please pick up from where you were.
Yes, like I was saying, that we should be accountable for some certain things. Not every time we blame the government. Government didn't do this, they did that, they didn't finish up. We always have this abandoned projects.
Yes.
They started these and they ended up not finishing it. They started the road and they didn't do it well. What about you?
What's your contribution to society?
The grasses around your environment. Is it the government that will come clear it for you? The dirt you dump at your drainage system, is it the government that will come and do it for you? Why are you dumping refuse there when you know that this thing, the rain comes and it push it to somewhere else's place?
We keep on talking about there is erosion and there is flooding. But then we also forget that some of these floods and erosion is being caused by our own behaviors,
exactly.
Our own practices.
Exactly.
So what are you doing as a Nigerian to also, so that your environment, your community, they would feel your impact? They should be able to feel your impact.
Exactly. We talk about Lassa fever. Those bushes, how do you intend to avoid Lassa fever when you don't clear those bushes around you?
Yes.
That's how it comes. You start from there.
Lassa fever, you have rodents that are the carriers of this disease. Now, when you don't maintain your environment, what do you expect? You are inviting them. Because now, what attracts them? Dirt. And when your environment is dirty, the rodents will be like, this is my place.
I want to make here a heaven.
Let's make here a heaven. Of course, it's Perspective on Osrc TV. And let's go on a quick break. And when we come back, we'll go straight into our newspaper headlines for today. to our newspaper headlines. And for the first one, we're going to take it from the Vanguard newspaper. This says 2027 polls. EU mission seeks constitutional judicial reforms. And that's on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. We have felicitation from Tantita as Oba Rashidi Ladoja ascends ancestral throne as 44th Olubadan. That's on the Vanguard newspaper. That's all we have from the Vanguard. Moving on to the next.
Okay, Daily Independence. Service outages may persist as Telcom suffers over 100,000 fiber cuts. We have a riders sector rebounds as active mobile lines rises by 2.2 million in August. Failing family system cause of rising insecurity in Nigeria, CDS says. That's on page 7. Rivers emergency rule court dismisses suit against Tinubu. That's on page 6. Tragic boat mishap in Kogi claims 14 lives, 42 missing. That's on page 6 too. CBN assumed full control of fixed income markets November. That's on page 6. Delay in legal reforms may disrupt planning of 2027 polls, says INEC. I never said I would step down from presidential race, says Atiku. Tinubu Independence Day broadcast full of misleading claims, says PDP. And that's all for Daily Independence.
Okay, moving to the Nation newspaper, we have this coming from the CBN, debt servicing slow to $2.86 billion in 8 months. That's on page 7 of the Nation. National Assembly moves one-day general election in 2027. That's on page 3. Power tussle in PDP NWC deepens. That's all we have from the Nation.
Okay, moving on to Daily Trust. Erected power hinders businesses in Kaduna, Kano, and Katsina.
Headline saying stir clear of illegal transactions on Osun local government funds, Assembly warns bank. That's on page 13. First Lady to supply 2.5 billion naira worth of sanitary pads to 370,000 girls nationwide. I think it's a nice one, because I think there've been lots of arguments when people talk about there should be free sanitation pad, because this is something that happens
we didn't
to women
ask for it
naturally.
Yes.
So if our First Lady is saying she's coming out to donate up to 2.5 billion naira worth of sanitary pad, that's actually a good one.
It's a good one. And on the second thought, why not reduce the cost of it? Because it's
I think
very
this
expensive.
is something that the government should actually regulate.
Yes.
But
back then in secondary school, they used to come, there's this organization that comes and shares sanitary pads to girls back in secondary school. I don't know if they still do that. And then it was quite cheap.
It was quite cheap.
But now, if you're not with 3,000, you can't even buy the big pack, the long one.
I think these are some things that should be made free and accessible.
Yes, if we can make CDs free, why not?
Yes, and there was also an argument that sanitary pads should also be part of a first aid kit.
It should be
part of it.
It should
because
be.
I think this is something that it's a natural occurrence. So we women don't have to, even if we have to pay to get, we don't have to pay so much to get it.
And I feel
the prices should actually be regulated.
Yes, it should
to
be.
make
It should
affordable
be for everyone, for every
not,
girl
if
child.
Not free, but affordable. And I think it's actually a commendable one coming from our First Lady, trying to
a good one from her.
To a lot of girls nationwide. Okay, still on the Daily Times. Troop foes Independence Day's attack. Neutralizes 2 terrorists. Seize weapons. That's on page 8. Court dismisses suit against Tinubu over Rivers emergency proclamation. That's on page 6 of the Daily Times.
Okay, moving on
No, I
to,
still
okay,
have,
you still have?
I'm
Okay.
not done. Yes, still on the Daily Times. Mass deportation imminent as immigration visa amnesty window expires. That's on page 2. We have NEMA declares 14 dead, 42 missing, 24 rescued in Kogi boat mishap. And okay, lastly, we have 2027 presidency. I have no plan to step down for anyone. That's coming from Atiku, and details on that is on page 12 of the Daily Times.
Okay, moving on to the Guardian newspaper. How brand Nigeria suffers for misdeed of few abroad. CDS, failing family system value worsening insecurity. Nigeria's health system performing at 45% capacity. Tinted glass.
Thought they talked about nobody is above the law.
Yes.
So talking about this tinted glass, and then the NBA reacting that police they impounded a judge's vehicle.
Yes.
What happened to
Nobody is above the
nobody
law.
is above the law, and I think as a judge, they should be the first to even lead
Exactly, by example,
because they are the ones that are even ensuring.
They're the one defending. They are the defenders
of those laws.
Yes.
So I think this has been out there since that okay, when you are driving with a tinted glass,
you should have a
with
permit.
a tinted vehicle, you should have a permit. So I think it is fair enough that nobody should be above it. Everybody needs to answer to that
Yes.
law. If that's what we are now doing in Nigeria,
If that's the agreement we have,
yes, that
then
if
we
you are
should
riding
hold
on
it.
a tinted vehicle, you need to have a tinted permit. Then I don't see why some group of people should be allowed to ply the road without this permit.
Because he's a what?
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay.
That's where we are coming from. It shouldn't be because they said nobody is above the law. So everybody.
So does it
should
mean
actually-
if nobody is above the law, then there is a little twist?
there should not be a twist.
Okay,
should
since
not
you
be
said
a
there
twist.
shouldn't be a
There
twist, then
shouldn't
it's
be a
fine.
twist. When they say nobody is above the law, then nobody, and I mean nobody. So it's actually good that they started with the judge
Exactly,
because
yes.
it should lead by,
By
example.
example.
When we see people in high places doing something, then I don't see why the followers. It's just like when your leader is actually doing something good, why would the followers
Go astray, yes.
They would do the same thing. So you as a leader should lead by example. I think that's the issue we had with Kwam1.
Yes.
Talking about him being a reputable person in the society and seeing
And
him
still
indulge
doing
himself,
misbehaving.
Yes, in that kind of indulging in that such behavior. It was
Playing
condemnable.
Nollywood,
It
not
was
Nollywood.
condemned. Yes,
film.
it was condemned. So I expect that as a judge too. That's why we talk about nobody is above
the law.
and everybody should face
Yes.
the consequences of their action. Besides, this law have been there since, and it just got into
Yeah,
it just got
exactly.
into effect. I think October 2nd. So I think they gave enough time for everybody to do the needful.
To make an
To
adjustment.
make an adjustment. Okay, moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria at 65. PDP carpets Tinubu, says president's speech boring, uninspiring, full of lies. That's on page 3 of the Tribune, of the Nigeria Tribune. Okay, Osrc Assembly wants banks not to honor unauthorized financial institutions on local government accounts. I think that's a way of maybe curbing should I say, financial crimes and all of that, but that's fine. Okay, I think that's all we have from the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, we can hope. We have one screaming headline here, and this particular headline has been happening,
Okay.
amongst us here. Reoccurring fake kidnap troubling. Ondo CP laments. That's on page 2.
Before you move,
Okay.
just like you said, it's been something now that it's more like a reoccurring situation. I know
Where
that
people fake
where
their
people
own
fake their
kidnap.
own
It's not even a good thing to be kidnapped,
It's
and
not
you're
even a
faking
good
it.
thing to be kidnapped, but I feel this is coming from desperation. A lot of residents and citizens of the country are desperate. This is talking about trying to get rich quick. Now you are indulging
and it's
yourself.
not the right way
and
to
you know
do.
the problem? The problem is when you set unrealistic goals for yourself, you will need to do things that are illegal just to get those, just to ensure that those goals
get to that goals.
Exactly, because I think a few weeks ago we had we talked about a pastor.
Yes, who faked his own kidnapped.
We had issues, lots of things.
Lots of them. We had a lady. I think some weeks ago we had a lady that used her brother's money to spend on her.
So then she had
what's it called?
She
Bridal
had to
shower.
fake her own kidnap to recover the money back. This is not a good thing, and I think people keep indulging in this. And I'm really thankful that they are being caught. It should also serve as a deterrent to those that are also planning to do these things. Now, is this now the new way to extort money
from
your family member? And besides, the people that are going to pay this ransom are still your family members.
At least there should be this conscience that should prick you, like, I'm doing the wrong thing. What about my family? What if someone hears about this and
you understand,
give
but
up?
They don't really think so much about that. Let's move on.
Okay. Ondo CP laments says perpetrators will face full wrath of law. A rider to it as police intensify crackdown on illegal firearms. Public welfare security have improved under Ayet Datiwa, says aide. Court remands
because you can see lots of cases. I think recently Amotekun caught a lot of culprits on kidnaps and lots of bandits too. So it's a good one, and I would really commend the governor. He's doing so well in terms of securing
yes, he
the
is.
state.
The governor of Ondo State is really, really trying.
He is doing so well. All right, lastly, on our newspaper headlines, this is coming from the Punch newspaper. Southwest states tighten borders amid banditry surge in Kwara State. That's on page 2. And the writer says Oshun Ondo deploys tactical West State fortified against attack. That's coming from Amotekun Corps. Intelligence agency track bandits, plan containment. And last rider we have eliminate criminal elements, CDS charges security forces. Rivers Fund, ICPC reviews petition against IBAS. That's on page 14 of the Punch. Electricity Act, poor Nigerians orders to get tariff relief. That's a good one. That's a good one. Obi won't join dollarized primaries. Obedient replies article. That's on page 27 of the Punch newspaper. EU canvasses urgent reforms before 2027 pool. That's on page 7. Okay. Stray bullet keys Oshun graduate after NYSC call-up. That's sad.
Really sad.
That's sad.
This stray bullet of a thing, I don't know if there's a way we can really, really emphasize on it. You can't just
You
shoot.
cannot open
A
fire,
fire
in
just like
public
that.
spaces. I don't know. I don't know who actually opened the fire, but whoever did,
You don't do
open
that.
fire in
We've
open,
had so many cases like
yes,
this.
except you have a clear shot at the target. There is no need for you to open fire.
If you don't
Because
have
at
a
the
clear
end,
shot,
if you don't have a
forget
clear
about
shot,
it.
forget about it. Because oftentimes you get to even hit
The wrong
the wrong
person.
person. So what's the essence? I think that should be part of. I don't know who actually took the shot, if it's police or I don't know, but whoever, if it's the police, I think they should be well sensitized about
That's
when not to open fire.
A very
and
young,
when to
promising guy
open fire.
just
Imagine he just
gone
got his
like that.
NYSC call up letter and he's preparing to go for NYSC. It's sad.
May the Lord
And
comfort his family.
Yes. Okay, lastly from the Punch, NAFDAC destroys 15 billion fake expired drugs in Oyo. More of that story is on page. That's all we have from the newspaper headlines. Let's quickly go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be taking our focus for today. Please stay with us. today is on Lagos State as it names Mandy Keys anti-drug ambassador. And a lot of reactions have been coming, like what are the criteria for giving ambassadorial titles to some certain people or certain citizens of the country. To help us talk more and digest this topic, we have a public affair, we have a counselor and a public affair analyst in the person of Kayode Oladipupo, who is going to be our guest today on the show. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very fine. It's
Thanks
nice to have you on the show today.
I'm happy to be here, particularly to a newborn environment.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So our focus today is talking about the ambassadorial title given on a social media influencer called Mandy Keys. She came out recently for this Guinness World Record, stating that she would want to make out with up to 100 men just to be recognized. And then the Guinness World Record came out and said, we do not honor such activities. And even if you go through with it, we are not going to honor it. And the Lagos State government came out and said they were going to arrest her for such acts. And then she came out again and said it was just a joke, that she had no intentions of doing it, that she was just trying to gain relevance in the society. But now the same Lagos State came out and they confer her an ambassadorial title on her for anti-drug, more of an anti-drug ambassador. So a lot of people are asking, what are the criteria for one to be given to be called an ambassador?
Thank you very much. Who is an ambassador? That is why we should start from.
Yes.
An ambassador is an accredited representative of his country or people or a people group. Usually you don't pick an ambassador out of a colony. An ambassador must belong to a particular group, is a representative of that group. And you represent that group as a plenipotentiary. In other words, he has every power. He shares the character, the norm, the value of the group that he represents. Okay. For instance, an ambassador of Nigeria in Ghana carried the very image, the culture of the people of Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay. In the same way, when you want to appoint an ambassador, say for drug,
yes,
you must ascertain that that person is on drug, has left drug. Okay. And now can speak to the people
against
who are into drug,
against the consequences,
the consequences, and they are likely to listen to a person who comes from among them. Okay, as aside from somebody who is a total stranger and who may be speaking language that they do not understand.
Okay, there is something you said that I picked now in what you just said. An ambassador for, let's say, anti-drug ambassador has to be someone that was, it's going to be was now, who was maybe into drug, but is now clean. So now, looking at Mandy Keys, this influencer that was given that is now being conferred the anti-drug ambassador, would you say she's deserving?
That is what is dicey, that I don't have a complete answer to.
Yes.
Because I'm not privy to her private life.
Yes.
But given the space of time when she said she would like to lie with 100 men, okay, in one single day.
Yes.
And the times the ambassador was conferred on her, it is hard for me to be able to place whether there has been any transformation in her life.
In her life.
Okay, is it possible that someone can be doing drugs and be given an ambassadorship and maybe trying to change, still holding the position?
Yeah, it is quite possible. It could also be a psychological onslaught on her person.
Okay.
That
so I'm preaching to you not to do drug.
Why should I be doing it? No, it will come like this. That I've been entrusted with much. Okay. Then I should put a check on myself.
More like a psychological
check. Okay. Yes. If I'm the one saying no to drug, why should I be found doing drug?
Okay.
Okay. So it could be a psychological onslaught on her as a way of compelling her to drop drug.
So are we saying this is the same tactics that they use for Kwam 1?
It may be and it may not be, because we have to be careful. Again, I'm not in Lagos State government, okay, but I'm talking from knowledge.
Okay.
Okay, it's like a born again Christian. You say you are born again.
Yes.
Okay, the day you are born again does not mean that you are completely transformed.
Yes.
Without sin.
Without sin. Okay, but it shows that you are now on a new trajectory in life.
Yes.
And you now are more conscious of what is expected of you and what is not expected of you. It may take time before you come out from the world totally.
Yes.
That's why the Bible used the word renewing rather than the word renew. Okay.
It's a continuous
It's not
process.
something. Okay. So the same work in a situation like this. Now you are an ambassador. Should you not be ambassadorial in whatever you do?
That's true.
Okay. So it places responsibility on you to check yourself.
Yeah.
But I think Lagos State also needs to, well, they may not be able to disclose that. But then I want to presume that Lagos State government might have had an arrangement or having some psychologists working on her
Okay.
and having people who can hold her responsible.
Yes.
Like Minister of Social Development, okay, may be assigned to have people who are doing therapy on her,
Yes.
okay, monitoring her, holding her responsible, and making sure she does not continue with her former life.
Okay.
Okay.
But looking at it from this angle also, we tend to, it's now looking like this ambassador title is now given to only people that are found doing something wrong. Because recently we've had cases
so
of
many.
some
The Kwam 1 and Kwam 2.
little, I think there's a little girl that went to represent Nigeria outside the country with over 50 different other countries. She was a competition outside the country with people from different countries, over 50 countries, and she came out first position. She was not given something, she was not recognized as much as I feel she should be recognized. Considering now that this is someone that was into something, and then we see Kwam 1, being conferred that title. So what is it now that they only confer this title to people that are seen involved in, should I say, social vices that are not
Like,
really,
what are the
really,
criteria?
what are the criteria?
To get this ambassadorship? Because I equally want to get one too. So I want to know what the criteria.
Don't be in a hurry to get one, because some of the time it's not complimentary as people perceive it. Some of the time it's an indictment that we are operating far below societal expectation.
So they want you to step up.
Let us drag you out. We can't
Make
afford.
you responsible.
We can't afford to lose you. Okay. And I will draw parallel from the scripture, and I hope you not mind.
It's fine.
Okay. You heard about the story of the prodigal son
Yes,
and his brother.
Yes.
Who was more rewarded?
the prodigal son,
The prodigal son. Why?
because they want him to maybe step up and to better.
Because he's lost already.
So that's like
Okay.
a redemption to redeem
Yes,
him back.
he's lost already. The brother is saved.
Okay.
He can do well without any prompting.
Yes.
But this one cannot
Needs
on
to be
his
pushed.
own. He has to be pushed. He has to be cajoled. He has to be encouraged
Okay.
to save him and get him back. So, that in fact, the Lord Jesus Christ said that you have 100 sheep and only one went astray. What do?
You go after it.
You put the 99 that are safe on one side and go
After the lost one.
after the lost one. Does it mean that you love the lost one more than the
I think
99?
this brings us back to that adage that says sometimes you give you handle more like you hand over things to the thief and see maybe just
So that he will not steal it.
Yes, to challenge them.
Exactly. So it is a powerful instrument
Okay.
of moral reawakening. Awakening. So and it's a very powerful tool. But to an onlooker, to an uninformed, it will be like this is rubbish. Okay.
I'm actually getting there because Nigeria is a country that we are more like in the eyes of other countries around us, both international and globally. So how do you think others will perceive us, saying that these are the people we keep conferring such ambassadorial titles on? Do you think it's going to affect our image?
If there is results, if people can now see that somebody who is doing drug yesterday is now an anti-drug agent today, then it becomes a positive thing. Then other can say, go to Nigeria, go and learn from them. Okay, you heard about stick and carrot. Okay, that is carrot. You are applying carrot instead of stick. Because the truth is that research has also shown that many people that are sent to rehabilitation houses hardly get out of drug.
Yes.
Okay, but this one can put a moral burden on you and say, I will not do it again. Okay, and then it also, as an ambassador, you don't stay on your own. You go to the midst of the people, of the people that are in need of your service. So we would like to see in days to come what we do.
Let's hope that they don't end up influencing the ambassador.
That is
because the ambassador is supposed to influence
no,
them.
we must also fear that it's not misunderstanding what she's expected to do.
Okay. So from your experience, how do cultural norms in Nigeria influence perceptions of morality and accountability in among public figures getting diplomatic recognitions?
Well, you talk about cultural norms. If you are talking about the cultural norms, I want to say that it puts a lot of burden on public officers that they must represent the country well. They must be the image of the country, and because of that, they are expected to be above board. For instance, I visited an ambassador, I think in 1982. I kept a night in the person's house at Babi's Tower in Lagos. Even from the gate, you know you are in a noble environment. There are things that are expected. There are things you can do. There are things you cannot do. Okay. Even at that time, when many Nigeria had no electricity, it was 24 hours service in that area. Okay. And the behavior, the table manner, everything was above the normal thing you see around. So that is the kind of expectation our society places. For instance, you won't see the son of a king to the throne.
Indulging in some certain things. Yes. They need to be enlightened.
They need to be enlightened. They need to be in the knowing of the reason why the government is doing what it is doing. But the government too should not allow it to become too frequent, so that
because in less than 2-3 months.
Yes, in less than 2 months.
So a month ago or so.
And this is coming. Lagos State needs explanation to give to the people.
Yes. So how do the people trust the government now concerning this?
Because are we now saying you have to have questionable character for you to be given this ambassadorship?
No, that we only need clarification. Like I said the other time, this is not a noble ambassadorial appointment. Okay. That is different from giving somebody an ambassador for sports.
Yes.
It's also giving somebody, that is difficult to do.
Yes.
To give somebody an ambassador for academic excellence is difficult.
But it's achievable.
The reason is that there are so many feet of learning.
Okay.
So how do you say one is better than the other? For instance, somebody who made a 2-1 in medicine, you can't say he's of lesser intelligence than somebody who made no first class, says in sociology.
They are graded
differently.
Yes.
Okay, so because of that, it's difficult
Yes.
to be able to point, and that's what people do not understand about the little guy.
Yes.
As it should be rewarded, but it's difficult to say she's the very best.
Okay. Before we round up this, what's the implication of the Nigerians' image internationally?
The truth is that, like it happened with the fuel subsidy, Nigeria rating on this is likely to be high, contrary to what people think.
Okay.
Because for the first time, we are applying the right remedy, and we are not overlooking evil. We are confronting it.
Yes.
And using tool that changes the mind, not that punishes the body.
That's a good one.
Okay. But like I said, that it should be complemented with a public enlightenment, so that what is...
To not be misleading.
So Bible says, don't let your good deed be spoken of as evil. So, and that is the area where we need people like you, media, to enlighten.
So people don't get the
Misconception.
that when you do something bad, that's when you are going to...
No, you should even be ashamed that you can be an ambassador of drug people. You can be an ambassador of irresponsible person.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chancellor. Thank you so much, Minister Kayode Oladipupo. It was a really nice one with you, and I'm very sure that the people out there, they've been enlightened to know that it's not just because of bad behaviors that is what you get recognized for. You can get recognized for anything. And this man, the key situation, it's more of a psychological way of pushing her to do better. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Yes. I hope next time when we call you, you would give us your audience.
Particularly with your tea.
Thank you so much, Chancellor. Okay, let's move on to the developing story, which will be taken from the other side of our studio. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
For Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives, Adebola Ademuagun, noted that at a time when both consumers and businesses are experiencing economic challenges, getting value for money expended on products has become imperative.
It's much on people, whether the buyer or themselves, because many of them still consume what they buy. When it is fake, it will be of no use. And when people buy the consumer, they will complain about them, they won't return to them again to buy. So it is very good for them to listen and make use of this enlightenment.
The administrative secretary of the agency, Kudirat Ola, among other stakeholders, stressed the need for traders to purchase products from the right sources to prevent circulation of fake and substandard products.
My message to them is to always ensure that they buy original products directly from source, from distributor, not a substandard product. They should ensure they check the necessary label that is supposed to be on it, either NAFDAC registration or standard organization code that is on it should be ensured before they bring it into the main market for distribution.
I believe that after this program today, they'll be able to take their time to check which one is fake, which one is substandard, and also desist from collecting those goods from distributors that are bringing them to them in their marketplaces, because it is not just for them, it's affecting the economic value of Nigeria in the marketplace. It's also affecting our health.
And if there is any way they feel the government will come to their aid and getting the bad eggs out of them, I think they should also try and bring this gospel to everybody.
Well, I thank both the state government and the federal government for bringing this kind of discussion, sensitization to my market men. Our market men, they don't usually look at the expiring dates of their products, but this will wake them up. When you buy things, you look at the expiring dates, and if the goods are expired, you return it.
The agency also reviewed plans to commence elimination of hazardous products towards putting an end to an unfair trade practices and exploitation of customers. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
It described illegal. The NBA, through its section on public interest and development law, said the police had no constitutional basis to impose fees or annual renewals on motorists, warning that enforcement of the policy was both unlawful and a revenue-driven scheme. Chairman of NBA's Public Interest Litigation Committee, Olukunle Edun, said the body shall invoke the powers of a court to ensure that the Nigeria Police Force does not trample on the rights of Nigerians. He called on any citizen who is harassed by the police in the purported enforcement of the illegal tinted glass permit to contact any of the NBA branches. Edun stressed that the matter is already in court and accused the police of being lawless by commencing enforcement. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has appealed to the National Assembly for an expeditious consideration of the electoral reform proposal as part of the ongoing constitutional review ahead of the 2027 elections. INEC said an early passage of the law is critical to planning for the elections, noting that uncertainty over the legal framework for the election could unsettle its work as the election draws nearer. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu made the appeal in Abuja at a meeting with the European Union Election Observation Follow-up Mission to Nigeria. He said it was the third time that the present commission was receiving such a mission. The chairman explained that action is being taken on cross-cutting recommendations that require collective action between INEC and other bodies as well as stakeholders, while waiting for the conclusion of the ongoing legal review by the National Assembly on the recommendations that require legislative intervention. Now to Akwa Ibom State, where the Governor Umoeno has dissolved all statutory and non-statutory boards and commissions in the state. Secretary to the state government, Mr. Enobong Uwar, announced the dissolution, commending members of the affected boards for their contributions to the governance of the state. Uwar said the governor acted in accordance with the powers conferred on him by Section 6 of the Statutory Boards Law 2023. Uwar urged chairmen of the defunct bodies to hand over government property in their possession to the most senior officer in the establishment. Now talking sports, Nigeria have defeated Saudi Arabia 3-2 in a Group F encounter in Tulsa Chile to earn 3 points and brighten their chances of reaching the round of 16 at the ongoing 24th FIFA Under-20 World Cup Finals. Midfielder Nasiru Salihu scored Nigeria's fourth goal of the tournament by converting in the 10th minute, but the Asians were back on level terms 10 minutes later. Undaunted, the 7-time African champions went in front again as Amos Ogoche scored with 7 minutes left in the first period. 6 minutes into the second half, Saudi Arabia were again back on level terms, thanks to Talal Haji. Nigeria secured victory with 4 minutes into added time when captain Daniel Bameyi converted from the penalty spot. Victory means the Flying Eagles will reach the round of 16 if they get a result against Colombia on Monday. And with that sports story, we conclude developing stories, but don't go away as Perspectives continues. Stay with us.
Welcome back. It's still Perspective on Osrc TV. On our previous segment, we spoke about Manda Keys and she being conferred with the title of Anti-Drug Ambassador. And we had a counselor to help us talk more on that topic. Now, moving on to our next segment, which is the trending stories, the part where I know we've all been waiting for. For the stories we have, first we have this coming from Atiku 2027. Atiku denied one. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has dismissed reports suggesting that he intends to step down for another presidential aspirant ahead of the 2027 election. In a statement issued on Thursday by his media advisor, Paul Ibe, Atiku described such claims as misrepresentation of his recent interview with the BBC Hausa service. Ibe explained that a careful review of both the video and transcript of the interview showed that Atiku never said, suggested, or implied that he intends to step down for anyone. What Atiku Abubakar clearly and unambiguously said was that young people, as well as other prospective presidential aspirants, are free to enter the contest. He further stressed that if a young candidate were to emerge through a competitive primary, he would readily support such a candidate without an hesitation. So of course, he did not say he is not
He's stepping down. No, he didn't say that.
I think maybe the reason why this whole the story was misinterpreted is because it was said in Hausa. So it wasn't said in English. So I guess it was
a lot of people don't understand.
A lot of people don't understand, and probably the person that translated it to English did not translate it accurately.
Yes.
So
the good thing about whatever he said is that he is open to a younger person coming in. That's more like a challenge to every young person out there.
From that angle.
From that angle, that's a challenge. If you're coming, he will support. That's the key word there, support. He's not saying don't come. And he's not saying the older people should come.
Yes, and
he's saying a younger person. That
he has to be just him.
Yes.
He encourage others to come. And if you come, even if it's a younger person, he is
he was specific.
Okay.
A younger person.
Most likely he's trying to
encourage the young people to the government. And if you're out there and you're listening to us and you have interest in it, please go for it, because you already have a backing
when we talk about
from him.
When we talk about consistency, I think Atiku is one who has been consistent.
Yes, he has
when it comes to this running for this presidential seat. I think he's not giving up. And
he's not giving up.
He's telling you, he said, no, I didn't say I am not.
I am leaving. I didn't say I am going to end.
Because a lot of when the news came out, a lot of we got a lot of what's it called, users saying no, this can't be true, because when we talk about consistency,
he already has supporters too. No, he has fans.
I don't know if it's coming from a place of support or from a place of. See, there are some things you hear and you be like, it can't come from this person.
Okay.
Because just like I said, when you talk about consistency, when it comes to this,
he doesn't give up.
He doesn't give up. He has been here, the last one, the one before, and the one even before. He has always been a constant when it comes to the presidential election. So when they saw the news, they were like,
it cannot be coming from him, right?
This is coming from him. So the next story we have, Fubara disengages cabinet members. The What's an opposite?
Yes, what's an opposite? Because I don't know, I don't understand.
But then, Wike came out and he said he has no influence in whatever decision Fubara is making. So that means if Fubara decide to appoint new commissioners,
he doesn't have a say. He doesn't have that influence.
No,
yes.
No, it's not like he can't. He can have influence, but he is saying
he doesn't want to
have. That this is entirely coming from Fubara.
Yes,
Fubara
whatever decision he makes, it's on him. Yes.
A lot of people have this narrative that Wike is influencing Fubara's decision. So ahead of this, Wike came out and he's telling them, I don't have influence on this.
Yes.
Whatever he is doing,
it's doing it on his own
will.
Yes, on his own will.
I asked this question, are you saying you don't trust the people that were elected before?
Exactly.
So now more like if it's more like he just wants his cabinet to
be around
people who he trusts.
Yes.
So for whatever reason it is, we don't know. But of course, I feel it's for the greater good of the Rivers State.
But the two of them, the relationship they have, that connection, it's somehow
You know,
It's kind of questionable. What's the connection between Fubara and Wiki? You know, always together in news all the time.
This is that part where I would say, if you ask me,
Now who I
now
go
who I
ask?
go ask. So let's move on to our next trending story. This is coming. This says, okay, Makinde converts 64 Lautech hospital guards to staff, raises salary to 80,000 naira. Oyo State Governor Sheyi Makinde approved addressed the crowd.
Yes.
And based on what he said, that was when the governor actually said,
But for God's sake, who still pays someone 18,000 naira?
18,800. I'm like, how is the and you need,
What can they even afford with the cost of
with the cost
living currently in Nigeria,
You know,
where
this is why people
things
say
are
the cost of
expensive?
living wants to even
Kill the living, yes.
Because now with 18,800 for a month.
How much is a cup of Gary?
For a month.
What about
Now,
bills?
let's not even talk about food stuff. Now, you
House
talk
rent.
about transportation. When you go to, when you end up, except you want to even trek, even if you want to trek, can you trek all through 30
Now,
days?
person wey chop na go trek. You cannot just trek when you're not filled.
When you're not filled.
When you don't even have the strength
Because
to.
when you remove your transport allowance from the 18,800, no matter how close the proximity from
How
your
do
house
you
to your
save?
workplace is, you will still end up taking at least
10,000
out of it. Now you're left with 18,800. You're not talking about your feeding allowance. You've not talked about your
house
house
rent.
allowance. You've not talked about other things that
If
may
you-
even arise.
assuming you have
medical bills,
children,
your children's school fees.
your
Let's
wife-
say they're even going to public schools, they still need pocket allowances.
Yes.
Like allowances to also help them sustain themselves. What about your wife? How do you
How
run
do
the
you
home?
cope
So
with that with 18,000 naira
I think
in
is
this
also
present
the
country?
reason why we also need to urge other states to
To do
key
same.
into
Yes.
the
Minimum wage.
minimum wage. Do you understand? Because imagine people that are still earning below
Less than that.
There are lots of them.
Funny enough, we have people that are still earning less than 18,000 naira. Now, how do they cope? How even private sector, yes, are doing that, paying below the minimum wage.
Paying below the minimum wage.
How do they expect them to
function?
survive?
I know that sometimes you see these staff, they are always aggressive while
Yes,
discharging,
angry.
while discharging their duties. And you most times we make comments like, why are they so angry? If you don't want to be here, don't be here.
They're not supposed to angry.
Sometimes it is even coming from the space of what they are gaining and the things that they are meant to condone.
Yes.
While at the job, and they're not even being paid properly for it.
It's a good one from him, and I also urge other governors and other people to key into
Other
this.
states,
Other
yeah.
states to key into this. It's
Yes.
it's a nice one. It's a big applaud to him.
Okay. Yeah, moving on to the next trending stories, we have this coming from Pengasan. We did not sign reconciliation agreement, says after strike suspension. The association Pengassan's position was clear. Take the people back to their refinery, he added. That Dangote initially refused to reabsorb the disengaged workers until the government pushed for a compromise. Osifo dismissed Dangote's claim of sabotage by the sacked employees. He emphasized that the union's fight was not about itself, but about Nigerian workers whose employments were abruptly terminated for exercising their right of association.
Well, for me, the both parties should come together and have an agreement to settle this. If I own a company and I ask you to come work for me, or you want to come work for me, and I give you an agreement, okay, you're working for me, you resume so time, you enter so time, and you sign to it. That particular time, you've assigned it to me. That you're giving me that right of yours. So I can do whatever I want at that period with you. I don't know if you get.
I understand.
Legally.
Yes.
Now, you going behind to do something different can actually make me want to release you of your duty.
Yes.
So the both of them need to come together and have an agreement. What do you want? What do I want? Let's play our cards down on the table and we discuss it. If it's convenient for me, fine. If it's convenient for you, fine. It's as simple as that.
You know, I think you said it all already, because whatever institution you find yourself, or even the country you find yourself, I'm talking from both the Pengassan's perspective and also from Dangote, we have rules and regulations that are guiding. So I would say in one aspect, Dangote also failed to fulfill
exactly,
its own part, and in the other aspect, the staff.
So the both of them are wrong. So they should come together.
They should come together and get this all done with, get into an agreement that
Yes.
favors
the both of
parties.
them, the both
And I
parties.
think
Yes,
everything
it's as simple as that. It may not be as simple as the
As
way we are saying it, or the way we are saying it. It's achievable.
So I think that should be what
Yes.
that's what needs to be done. Okay, moving on to our next trending story. Soludo gives conditions for release of detained native doctors, Vincent Ujumadu. Anambra
for some of our youths, trying to get money quick. We have other means of getting money. It's not just this particular one.
Yeah.
We have other means of getting money quick, according to them.
Yes.
But it should not be so. It shouldn't be so. What happened to making money the right way? You make money quickly, you just end up losing it. Whatever you don't sow with your sweat, you don't know the value of it. You lose it. But when you sow, you put your strength, your energy, your focus to it in the right direction. You end up enjoying it. It's more like a farmer who plants corn during the rainy season. At a set time, the corn gets mature and brings out a fruit for you to harvest. But imagine you sowing during dry season. What do you expect? It will not come out the way it should come. It will definitely grow, but not as it ought to be.
I think the issue where we should tackle it from this angle, most times youths and individuals are now making unrealistic,
some youths, not all youths.
Yes, some youths and some individuals are now making unrealistic goals. Now, when you make unrealistic goals, you are going to go through illegal ways
to achieve
those goals. Now, you already know that your source of income cannot sustain some certain lifestyle, but now you want that lifestyle for yourself.
Yes.
Now, what would you have to do to sustain that lifestyle?
You push.
You have to do something.
Some things
illegal.
you don't need to do.
You understand? So now, from the part of this native doctor, you would also realize that even most of these native doctors, they don't do it for themselves.
They don't.
Because they know that
yes.
these things have consequences.
If you go to this native doctor, most of them are not even. They don't have a good
well
home. They're not well to do.
You understand? Now you want to drive a Benz. You want to drive the biggest car. You want to drive a Lexus and all of that. But ask yourself: do you have your current your
financial strength?
Is it capable of getting that? So I think until even we as individuals start to sew our coat, not
according to our material.
Exactly, I was getting there. Not according to our material anymore.
Okay.
I mean, not according to our.
It's not our size. It's according to the material.
Not according to our
because
size.
if you get 1 yard, now what you get, now
material,
you go sew.
Exactly. Because right now, if you are a plus size and they give you 2 yards, you have to manage it.
Even if
that's I think that is what they call live within your means.
Yes.
You won't have 2 yards and you want to sew agbada for where?
I think there was a story that was circulating some time ago where a 17, 18 years old boy sponsored their father's burial. You know, and the family were so excited that my son, they didn't know the genesis of this money or how he even got the money. They were just excited about it. That the boy removed shame
from their eyes.
Come on.
You know, people see things from different angles. Now that's the angle they are seeing it from.
Yes.
He removed shame from our eyes. But I think as parents, we should also be able to ask our children, how are you getting this money?
Some years ago, when we were much younger.
Because at 17-year-old, you should
exactly.
You just left
should be
secondary
school. If you've not done with school yet.
You can't. Maybe you're done with secondary school.
Okay.
But if you're in the university, you should not even be more in your final. Probably in your 200 level.
200, 100, 200, yes.
100 or your 200 level. So where are you seeing that amount of money to sponsor a father's burial?
Your child comes home with a big phone, and you're happy about it. You've not questioned that child.
Peer group influence.
Yes.
Most times you see your colleagues, they are doing this, and because of that, you feel
you
feel pressured that you want to live life this way too, and then you end up indulging in things that are not even good.
Funny part is, those people make likely escape, but you that is just coming in, now you they go catch.
You know, sometimes even the people you are measuring yourself to, you don't know if they come from a well-to-do family.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're failing to see that, but you just want to see the fact that I want to be like this person. But
you want to wear the trending clothes, the trending phones.
Everybody wants to be like them, $10 and Dangote. But when you sit down and they actually speak to you and tell you about their struggles, it wasn't easy.
Sweet.
But
then
then with consistency and time, they were able to get there. So I think that's something that they also need to get rich quick thing.
The native doctor in question, I think he should go through the right process. You know, if he's of questionable character, he should be held responsible for it. Everyone should account for whatever.
I think that's what the governor is saying, that he would go to court, and if it's being found guilty, then of course,
he goes straight. Yes.
Plead for maybe leniency and all of that. All right, moving on to our next trending story. How Abuja community, where Arise TV journalist died, lives under armed robbers in that community.
Oh.
And that they have actually gone out to make complaints to the police, but nothing
has been done until now.
Until now. This brings me back to that adage that says, a stitch in time saves nine. If maybe the police had done what needed to be done at the first time, which was when the community started reporting cases of robbery
in that environment,
and something was done, I'm sure it will not
get to this point
because they said that they've always been reporting this, but nothing has been done. So that means the robbers already felt comfortable, like, this is my own place. They've taken over that community, and it's really sad that she, sometimes they said fear most times even kill before
the real incident.
Real incident, because I know that whatever, she was just thinking of a way to escape. At that moment, she was thinking of what can she do to escape these robbers. Because normally, from a 3-story building, the chances of even surviving is very
For me,
slim.
I think she wasn't thinking. She was just being nervous
she was
rational.
Yes.
She just
took scared, and she
took the decision without thinking. So she thought it's something she can make it. She will be able to make it down and all that. So she was not thinking about the consequences at that point. And on the second thought, if robbery incident has been happening in that environment, I think she should have moved out. Based on her reputation, based on who she is in the media, she would have brought it on air. Okay, there is a location that is always having armed robbery attacks all the time. She would have made. She would have dragged.
She did not make, like, that's more like sensitization.
Yes.
We don't know if we can't tell if maybe she did that or not. You understand? But now, if the community, they are saying that they actually went to the police to make reports and drop statement that, this is what is going on in our community.
Funny thing, I think she posted before this incident happened.
Nigeria
not happened to me and you. Yes, she made a comment
really
like that,
sad.
And unfortunately,
because after she jumped, according
Nigeria
to
happened
reports,
to her.
according to, there are two sides of the story. According to report, they said that she died even before getting to the hospital, and then there are other reports that says that it was due to the negligence of the from the hospital.
Yes,
that was
I think I read that report where the hospital came out to say that she was dead on arrival, so there was nothing they could have done to and maybe she would have, even if she survived, I don't think she would have been okay.
She wouldn't have, because
she wouldn't have been
from that height. She would probably have gotten, let's say, leg fractures and all of that.
Yes. So
really
it's a sad one, and she has a very promising future. It's a sad one.
Okay, moving on. 15 more corpses recovered from the Kogi boat accident. The Kogi State Commissioner for Agriculture, Timothy Ojoma, on Wednesday confirmed that 15 additional corpses had been recovered from last Tuesday's boat accident in the Ibaji local government area, bringing the official toll to 35. Ojoma, in his text message to correspondents, said almost 20 more passengers were still unaccounted for. The ill-fated boat, reportedly overloaded with traders and residents traveling for the Oktoberfest celebration, departed from Onugwa community in Ibaju en route to Ilushi market before capsizing on the river Niger. Wow. The boat was fully loaded with our people going to the market for the Oktoberfest celebration. Even those who came for a burial in Onugwa and were returning to Ilushi were missing. They are yet to confirm the exact numbers of survivors and casualties. Only 5 survivors have surfaced so far, and many of the people are still lying lifeless beneath the river. Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency on Thursday gave a separate update stating that 24 passengers had been rescued, 14 corpses recovered, and 42 people remained missing. It noted that community divers were assisting official rescue teams with operations coordinated alongside the Kogi State Emergency Management Agency, the Local Emergency Management Committee, and the Civil Defense Corps, the National Inland Waterways Authority, the Fire Service, and the Red Cross and the local government and the local responders. The agency stressed the need for strict compliance with safety rules, including compulsory use of life jackets and adherence to passengers' limits on boats.
It's a sad one again.
It's a sad one, but you see this last part. We can actually control some stuff if we do some disasters.
If we do the right thing.
Now, there are some, before you go into a boat, there should be
a life jacket.
And the boat
and not overloading.
Not overloading. Even on aircraft, you need there are certain amount. That's, you see, I think aircraft it's more regulated.
Yes.
But when it comes to boat use, people just feel
people just want to make money. Just push
just
them.
Put them.
Make them enter.
Don't really care about the
their
capacity.
Safety. You
that
don't.
That boat
my
can carry.
God, this is
because if
so
they had life
bad.
jackets and if they carried people, sometimes because they don't want to go forth and come back to pick the other ones, maybe before
they just want to pack them at once like sardine
and put them inside.
Now the boats don't side the sardine people, Abi. It's a bad one. It's wrong. It's wrong. You don't pack people.
Avoided.
Yes, it could have been.
I think something like this happened last year where we lost this actor
Pope John.
Is it John?
Pope
John,
something like that.
Yes. And that could have also been
the actor from
Nollywood.
Junior Pope. Yes.
I know it has to do with the Pope, Junior Pope. If maybe they had life jacket on,
yes,
there is no way you are going to sink inside water. I've gone through some.
And it was not just the only one. We had
only one. We had
makeup artists and others. Yes.
But that's why I said some things could have been
avoided
if the right things were done.
I think we have bodies that goes to check for all these things.
Are they
working? Do you just go there? Maybe there's such and you just keep quiet about it. These are lives. These are people's lives. They matter too. No matter how you say it, they matter. And you joining that boat, they think calm. You say think calm. Sit down, think calm. If I join this boat, it's too full.
I like what you just said. For someone, see me personally, even before I enter a vehicle while traveling, I would observe. If I feel like I don't like the faces that I'm seeing,
you highlight. You just come down.
And come down. There was a time I was already traveling, and the vehicle already stopped 2 times even before we left the garage. I just told the man, I said, "Let me come down." He was like, "I would not give you your money," and I'm like, "I didn't even ask you for the money." Do you understand?
Your life matters. You value your life.
My safety first.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, we are just leaving the garage.
And it has broken down like twice already.
We already fixed tire. And I'm like, there's no way I'm traveling with this vehicle.
Then it comes to water.
And then the man was already telling me, I'm not going to give you. I told him, I said, I didn't even ask for the money. Please just take my bag out. That is what I need. And I went back home. But so I think we should also put our
you should place a value on yourself.
Some things are not being done properly. You can excuse yourself. Now, a boat is supposed
no matter how you want to rush, there is this saying.
It's better
late than
yes.
No matter how you want to rush, you want to get to an event, you cross over. No matter what it is, you need to value your life. You need to put priority on your life.
Talking about it's better late than to be late. I remembered. I think during this week, I was heading home. The cars, they were rushing. This one is rushing to go before this one, and then they collided, and I think the other man's bumper fell off. And I was inside the car, and I told myself, I said, now, where you are rushing to, are you still going there?
You got stuck there.
What? They both got stuck. They came down, and they started
changing words instead of finding solution.
They started exchanging words. Now, the place that you were rushing to, are you there now? You are wasting your time now. You are talking, but for something that
assuming you lost your life in that process.
Now, assuming if when the first person was coming, you said, go. And then when the person go, you move after. It could have been solved. But this one wants to go, and the other one said, no, I want to go first. Now they collided with each other. And now the reason why they are running now, the place that they are running to,
they're not
going there anymore. They stopped and they started exchanging words with each other. This one said, this. Well, you understand?
We need to prioritize ourselves. We need to place value on yourself. You need to know what you want. You don't just go there because you're late. You just join with every other person and you keep going. You don't know what's out there for you. When it comes to water, you don't get friendly with water. No. People don't get friendly with water. Water is one thing. Even drinking in the cup, so you have to be careful. May not
Because sometimes, no, you can even choke.
You
when
can
you,
choke,
when you
yes.
Rush it, when you rush it, you can.
Water is not something you play with. Please wear a life jacket
I think
before you
the
embark
thing is,
that
it's not even about wearing
journey.
a life jacket. How many boats
Has
before you
it?
enter has a life jacket? They don't even have life jackets.
They don't, yes.
So it is only something you have that you can offer. So I think this brings us back to regulating some certain things. You cannot just come to and say, oh, you want to go through a boat transportation as a means of transportation. You also need to ensure that these people are being regulated.
In fact, if it means you having a life jacket from your house, please,
you know,
carry it.
Aside just having a life jacket from the house, you should also ensure that the people that are carrying you, they know what they are doing. Now, if a boat is supposed to carry or convey, let's say, 12 people, and then 30 to 25 is on it.
On
the
a small boat.
of it, like
capsizing, it's on the high side. Yes, it's high.
So are they regulating these things? Or boat is just like a means of transportation that nobody is paying attention to?
Yes,
because
it's
we know
possible
that
nobody is paying attention to it.
Attentions are being paid to
the road.
Attentions are being paid to flight, which is the aircraft. But is attention being paid to the sea?
And that's another means of transportation we have here too in Nigeria.
Cargoes and ship.
Yeah.
What about people riding on boats? So I think I don't know, maybe there are regulations, but I think it should be well enforced.
It should be.
It should be well enforced. It shouldn't be something that they are just feeling like, okay,
because that's a huge number. Come on, that's a huge number. We lost so much.
It's still, I can't remember the river that Junior Pope's son took place, but I know it was in Asaba.
Asaba.
I know it was in Asaba, and it was also a very big river.
Yes.
And just imagine the risk. But I would say this again: if they were with life jacket, I think we would not even.
We'll have that much casualty.
Numbers of casualties.
Yes. Please, let's move on to the next story.
All right, moving on to the next story. This is quite one that would maybe uplift the mood because we've just been saying something.
Okay. So this I think I'm in for a mood lifting right now.
Okay. So now, bride celebrates as she ties the knot with her man after 13 years of relationship and 2 children. A heartwarming video making the rounds online has captured the beautiful moment a bride celebrated with pure joy as she finally tied the knot with her longtime partner after 13 years of being together. In the clip, the bride revealed that she and her man have been in love since 2011 and already share 2 children. The couple officially sealed their union at the Ikoyi Marriage Registry in Lagos State, surrounded by their kids and loved ones. Overflowing with excitement, the new bride expressed gratitude to her husband for keeping his promise to marry her after so many years. The groom, on his part, admitted that their journey has had its share of ups and downs, but added that as a wise man, certain things are better kept between husband and wife.
So now it's not husband and wife.
For 13 years, what should we call that?
I saw the video. I don't know if we don't have it. I saw a video of it where she said almost 14 years. It was almost 14 years. For God's sake, as a woman, what will you be doing in a man's life for 14 years? Building with him. You're not guaranteed of his what's it called?
I don't think it's not about guaranteed now, because she said he kept his promise. So
for how long? What if he changes his mind? For God's sake, the man is not a god, that cannot lie. What if he just said that because he wants you in his life to build with him? And after building with him, he ends up leaving you. We have scenarios like that.
We have seen scenarios
where Good thing that this one didn't happen the other way. There was no heartbreak at the end of the day. After spending such amounts of years, the girl was supposed to enter school, do degree, do masters, do PhD, do another additional course before she come outside.
No, but I'm
happy for them.
Congratulations to them.
I'm happy for them. But this for this, it's not a right thing. It's not a modest thing to do as a lady, going to build with a man that your family does not know. You're not just building, you have children for him. And what happened to that? We used to have this this fear of living with a man that you're not married to or your family does not know about, and you're not just living. You even gave birth.
You know, I think it's not really about the family don't know about him. They know about him, but not the way
Not
they
officially.
should. Not officially.
Yes.
Yes.
So I can say they don't know him.
You cannot
Since
say
it's
that
not
since
official, they
it's
don't know
not
him.
official.
So it's wrong for, I don't know whatever this is portraying, because it's more like giving other young girls out there that there's this vibe, you can stay with a man, at the end of the day, he will marry you after all.
You know, I think
Something
and
like
this
this
is
happened.
bringing
It should-
like an eye rise in.
Yes.
I don't know, they call it baby mamas now. You understand?
And we are having
We are
a rise
having
of it.
A rise of it, like a lot.
A lot.
Where you now feel like, okay, when you are with a man, when you give birth automatically. But right now, when you even give birth, these men are not even coming to get married.
Some of them, please. Some of them.
them.
Because we just have an exception here.
Yes, some of them. So I think this is not something. This is something that I think should not be. Should I call it a trend?
It should not be a norm.
It should be a norm.
It shouldn't be, because it wasn't what we used to know. Then you
Yes.
have this pride when your
They-
husband
they
to be
come
comes
to the
home,
house. Yes,
recognize you as a
officially.
wife.
You know, when they say
I saw a flower.
I saw a flower.
I want to come and pluck a
But
flower.
right now,
Which flower? Hibiscus flower, the rosemary flower.
They've already plucked.
Yeah,
the
this one they
flower.
don't plug, and they not just plug, they uprooted it.
They uprooted it.
You know, and the flower has given birth to so many flowers. Word. So it shouldn't be something we should make a norm of. It's wrong, morally wrong. If you're going to say it from the other side of it, it's wrong. But for the man, a good kudos to him for not disappointing our sister.
her.
You know, after all these years. It's a big
Is it-
applaud.
the
applaud
way
to.
you
You know, she
drag
was even
on
happy
the
about it.
years.
It's years. Come
You know,
on.
is it now? What are we going to? Is it years of? Is this going to call talking stage or courtship or?
Maybe they had talking stage, they had courtship, they had managing stage, whatever stages they went through.
They've gone through all the stages.
Yes, they have gone through all the stages, and I wish them a happy married life. They have been married already. Continuous married life.
Okay, or whatever you call it. All right, it's still Perspective on OSRC TV. This is Aisha Modilari, and of course I've had a nice time with my co-presenter here. And like I would always say, good name is better than riches. Sharon, what do you have to say?
Yes, my name is Sharon Gabriel, and whatever you find yourself doing, do it well and do it right.
Whatever you find yourself doing, do it well and do it right. Until next week, we come your way again. This is Perspective on OSRC TV.
Bye.
Bye.